Hi guys, it's me, Lydia Shimpole. Thanks for coming back for another episode of What You Need When You Need It. This week we have the second part of Ian Ndambuki's conversation about life and love and meditation and Ramdas. I'm so glad you're here, and let's jump right in.
You know, I realized I listened to a podcast of a dude named Duncan Trussell. And
Yeah. Wait, I think that's the one okay.
Duncan Trussell knows everything. Oh my God. He knows everything about everything. It's just interesting guy. And I listened to him when I was on Saturday, and it was cool because, I was hearing... They were also talking about tarot and this director named...
Tarot, like tarot cards?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And how it's just like a 72 deck card and with all these things, and no matter how you arrange them, it tells a different story each time. And it's cool for people who are into storytelling.
Yeah.
With the myth and the imagery and stuff like that. And I've never been into tarot, but they were mentioning a lot of names of dudes that I like, and I'm or things that I like to hear about, and hearing Duncan just go off about random ass stories. It was also cool, but it was a nice experience. And I was like, oh my gosh, through hearing you could hear, through talking, you get to know people so much that when I'm describing a person who I listened to on a podcast, I'd accidentally say I met them through this other podcast. I'm like, I don't mean I met them, but I found out about them.
And now you feel like you know them.
But you definitely do know them to a certain extent, even maybe more than people that you interact with in a normal daily basis. You're like, I don't know. I've definitely heard this guy speak about a lot of things, especially Pete Holmes. I think I know Pete Holmes.
Oh man, Pete Holmes just I love it. Yeah,
but it's just because people aren't able to talk that way
anymore.
Yeah, and when I'm talking, I'm trying desperately to hear some sort of music
or something else that you didn't know. I actually I read a study that said that people these days talk less than 55 minutes a week to each other, to a person in the room.
55 minutes a week.
Minutes a week.
Damn.
A legitimate conversation.
That's shockingly
I think
accurate.
It was 55. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Shit.
It was a really small number, and they were saying that's one of the reasons that we feel so isolated and why there's
solipsistic.
Yeah, and so many.
We're all in this world by ourselves, and everything is
and it's causing a lot of issues.
Figment of our imagination. Yeah. It is causing a lot of issues. Yeah. I can feel those sort of things.
Yeah, because think about how many times you're in a room with somebody else and you don't even make eye contact with them or say hello. I think that a lot.
Yeah, me too. And I'm trying to go against it in a way, and I feel
hard, though.
At least I'm in a good sort of body or human thing to be able to get away with that, being a black person.
Yeah, they're already scared of you.
Being a black male, I don't have a perception of life where I'm going around a corner expecting that this could be the corner where I get grabbed and raped.
Exactly.
That's I'm a black male. I feel a little bit maybe too safe sometimes because I don't think about that sort of situation.
Yeah.
Or a lot of situations like that because I don't know. I was raised in a safe, comfortable place around.
Which is a privilege in itself, too.
Yes, yeah. I just like to understand my privilege and then, bask in all its glories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even the things that aren't my privilege, just being ignorant, like a white person could be, and getting away with it and just feeling joy. I don't know. I want to bask in more privilege. It would be so nice
to be able to walk in somewhere. And
I think I forgot I was black because I would enter buildings just not realizing that this is another thing that is part of how I'm being perceived.
Do you think that comes from being raised in a small town? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I had that for a really long time.
Yeah, and also, but I'm not just going to say it's just that.
It's a lot of, it's having a lot of friends who are diverse.
It's also being who I am. Yeah. yeah. I always thought before I came here that black people would look towards me to at least get a little bit of an enlightened experience on how it would be to live in Africa and be from the home country, and I would have more black or African American friends than white friends. Even though I'm from a white town, I just felt like that would be something that was real, but it wasn't. That was like the biggest disappointment.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just two different cultures too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not. I don't like to make huge generalizations about either, but there's still certain ways that I know that I felt between hanging out with a bunch of black people or African Americans who neither have ever been to anywhere in Africa. Mm-hmm. And hanging out with a bunch of white people who've never been to Africa. Yeah. And there's two certain types of ignorances. They're not the same, but
there's also some similarities.
There's a lot of similarities. Yeah. I mean, ignorance is ignorance is ignorance. I think it's still all the same sort of feeling if you get it. But I think black people, there's just a lot more fronts also depending on the black person.
Definitely.
Or the white person, or the Asian. I gotta stop using. Everything. See, this is how I speak. Yeah. I'd want to speak, I think, as clearly as possible, and the way I can do that is speaking like a white person.
Like, oh my god, you sound so white.
Yeah, I'm definitely whitewashed, but I'm also, I think, probably the most Kenyan person. To myself, I still think I'm
you feel authentically Kenyan.
I'm still freaking Kenyan as fuck inside. I just have a lot of fronts also. Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel the opposite.
My voice changes the more I'm speaking to whoever I'm speaking to.
Yeah, like your accent comes out when you're speaking to another Kenyan person. Yeah. I realized the other day I got into an Uber car, actually 2 days ago when I was coming home. Yeah. And the guy was from Ethiopia, and he looked at me and he's like, "Are you Habesha?" And I'm like, "No." But then I realized immediately my accent came out. And then we started talking about Kenya and how his family runs a business and how he's the last born and all this other stuff. But it's like the accent came out and all of the tendencies, like how when you're hearing a story you say like at the end of it instead of like that came out, and it was just interesting. But it was dope. I like how that changes.
There's a whole different sort of inflection.
Yeah, you answer differently, you laugh differently. Everything.
Yeah, maybe there is no real language. It's just all inflection, and if you can understand,
literally,
a universal sort of way to speak. Or I met this super weird dude who got me, and he didn't get me in trouble, but he is a weird dude, and he was a weird dude from the first second I met him. I don't know how I was able to. I met a weird dude who I dropped off somewhere, and then the next day, the cops were at my mom's house, woke her up asking about this dude and the fact that the last person who he was hanging out with is me, or just that the fact that he knew me, and it was this kid that I met in school. Yeah, and he's really weird. I think he has something. I don't know. I kind of take a lot of lessons, especially if someone's willing to say them, and if you notice that someone's not necessarily where you are mentally or not all the way there yet, I feel like saying that is a little bit rude, so
I think
it is a little bit filtering myself there when I say that. But the dude does have bipolar, at least is what I learned from the cop who came to my house. But it wasn't in any situation, I just dropped him off, but it's because I wasn't gonna drive him all the way home. I barely know this dude, and he's really weird. But he'd always say, think universally or something like that. He'd always have this little weird random things that he'd get back to, even though I didn't necessarily trust or understand where he's coming from in this area. Like if he has traveled all over the globe, because he'd do random things want to look like he's really Muslim or something, and just say random things. And he's younger than I am, and there was a lot of disrespect in terms of him not necessarily considering. I do have a sort of attitude about that. That's weird. And,
about what?
About how I'd say just even other guys, not women, but because it's different in a way. But how other men perceive me in a way, which is part of being raised in Kenya, and it's also part me being who I am, and it's part being raised here as a Kenyan, and it's also part being considered by my friends in Kenya when I was also a Kenyan boy, a man, because I was circumcised in the hospital when I was a child, and so
I
was also
So,
considered
like,
a man. And
you didn't have the 15-year-old like whole rite of passage kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. And so my friends still considered me a man, which I liked because I even then still felt a little bit like I have a pretty good head on my shoulders.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
That is no intent. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah.
But there is even with dudes that are. I don't think that size matters that much because like I still would feel that sort of respect from someone even that is much bigger than me or older than me even a little bit. It's not like a real respect or anything tangible like that.
Yeah.
I'm also probably adding some shit for myself from my own getting along things, but there is always a little bit of that sort of nice. It's humbling too. It's like someone older than me is a man who would ask me for like advice or just like a little bit of an experience.
Yeah. Like your take on life.
Yeah, in a certain situation, or listen to me when I'm speaking, and I'm like, that's awesome, thanks, man. I mean, at least I'll give that to you always because that's at least I see that I'm getting something back. You know, some of it back, because I'm trying to speak to myself here, but there wasn't necessarily that. He was in his own world, this dude, so I didn't drop him off and he did something that was, I don't even know what he did. But
also, that's why the cops showed up. That makes sense.
Because they just wanted to know if I knew where he was. But it was fine. Anyways, there is that. Oh my goodness, I can really. That's what Masila says. What? I can really speak about anything. Yeah, I guess if you just let me speak.
You just listen.
Yeah, I can talk about a lot. So ask me some questions.
So Suggle, I usually ask people about their self-care routine.
That's a good question.
Yeah, when they figured out how to just like care for their mental and like emotional state and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So like, when did you figure out that you needed to take care of yourself? And how?
When did I figure out I had to take care of myself?
Yeah, and how do you do that? Like yoga or?
I think I figured out how to take care of myself very young. I think I figured out how to.
Oh yeah, because of the whole story. Yeah. Okay.
I just think there's a sort of way that guard it just as everyone does, you know. But very young, where I think left to my own devices or the world or just a situation, it's a pretty good safe bet, which is a pretty obnoxious or cocky thing to say, to think that I would come out on the good side, at least that I would consider a good side, the better side of the situation. I just think I'm able to take care of myself in that sort of way where I can get out of a situation on the side that is not necessarily like if there was a crime that had happened, I don't think I would be the first person that would be easiest to frame in the situation, because I'm sort of at least aware necessarily.
Yeah, so
that I'm in control of the situation that I put myself in, even when I'm not fully in control of it, I would feel comfortable getting out of it. And so I can take care of myself in that way, which is like a weird way to say that I can take care of myself. But physically or emotionally, maybe not so good, because I'm only learning. I feel like I'm maybe a 5-year-old.
Oh, damn.
In that sense.
Yeah.
It's like I learned it, and I'm still learning it.
So what does that look like? Do you like run, or do you listen to music to get you just kind of de-stressed and that kind of stuff? Or no?
It's all mental for
Yeah.
me. It's not. There's routines and habits and things like that. Maybe listening to podcasts always eases me out, but also
Me too.
I think a lot of not letting myself get stressed out is like a mental thing.
Do you have like a mantra, or?
Yeah, I do have mantras, and not anything like that I've been assigned, so I wouldn't say, or it's not anything like that, but it's just certain things that always come, like certain mantras that I've used a little bit enough where I can just I can remember to remember it, and then just start saying it in my head no matter the situation.
Just comes up.
Because I also just to also think about something else, or figure out that I'm just like daydreaming for no reason.
Yeah.
There's rum. I like to say rum. Just like walk around and going rum.
It's a good. I think mine is just breathe.
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 Yeah. There's also
just
just breathing. I think I've got a pretty good control in breathing.
Or like it's real.
It's not. I don't have a pretty good control. Yeah, just like
Yeah, that's real.
Just like it does. Yeah, it makes sense.
It just snaps you out of it. Mm-hmm. It's like, this is your life. You get to control your life. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just that kind of stuff. What else?
I like to say Aum Mani Padme Hum.
What is that?
Aum Mani Padme Hum. It means something lightning in a dark void. That's the imagery.
Lightning in a dark void.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, some powerful imagery.
Mm-hmm. That one's good because it sounds fun to say. Or gate para samgate.
I like that.
Bodhisattva, which just means beyond the beyond. Praise the goer or something like that. The person who goes beyond, and beyond, or whatever like that.
Where'd you get that? I like that.
A Ram Dass book.
I keep hearing about this.
Yeah, Be Here Now.
Yeah. Oh, I should check that out. I've been hearing about it on all of these podcasts, and I've never actually sat down and.
Actually, a pretty famous book. I think in the 70s it beat the Bible and the best, and like the.
Be Here Now.
In times, it's a pretty interesting book. I think.
Yeah.
I gave my copy to Auntie Elizabeth. I think it's the only book I bought off Amazon, which is also like a weird thing because when I was in Minnesota, I had over $100 in my account, which is not much
You did.
for spending money.
Can't believe you just picked up. You're like, I have $100. I'm going to Minnesota. I was like, what?
Yeah. I get there. Don't have any money in my account. I'm like, what are you talking about? I had to check my transactions, and then I gave like $100 off from Amazon Prime. I'm like, I don't have Amazon Prime. What the fuck is this? I don't have money. I'm away from home. I need the 100. I knew I should have taken that money out, but I needed some cash and some in my account. Anyways, but I called them and I canceled the thing. They say it happens a lot, but
yeah, no, it does.
Yeah, it was
Do
only.
you know you
I
get
think
a
it was
student
from
discount
that
though?
book. Yeah.
Yeah, you get 50% off your Amazon Prime if you just put your email, like your student email. And I think you send them like your student ID card or whatever, and you get 50% off. That's a big amount of money.
Huge.
Yeah.
Dang.
So you should do that.
Okay, I'll do that.
And you get the first 6 months free. So if you cancel your account and remake it with the student account, you get this. Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta do that more.
And you get the 50% off discount.
Is that where you
for
get
like
your textbooks?
4 years.
Where do you get your textbooks? You graduated.
Plead the fifth.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice.
I did graduate though. I don't think I bought a textbook.
I gotta learn that I have a Fifth Amendment and I can just plead it. I think I divulged too much information, but we only have so much time here, so I guess if anyone was to sit me down and really try to get to the bottom of it,
they would get to the bottom of everything.
Yeah. I'm pretty open, but it's not necessarily the easiest way to.
Do you feel like that has been a practice thing, or is that just the way you are?
I don't think it's the way anything really is. I think there is a sort of practice to it, but there's also a lot of self-love that has to come to allow yourself to do that.
To be open with others and just be you.
Yeah, because at least I don't know. I want the experience of anyone that I interact with at least to not be something that makes their life harder, if anything.
I agree. Yeah. Oh, I heard the best quote. I was watching a movie yesterday, and it was like, I think it said, we'll always try our best to help others, and if we can't do that, then at least we'll try not to hurt them. And I was like, that's so dope. It was in this movie, Almost Christmas.
Almost Christmas.
Yeah, it's like a black movie that's coming out for Christmas, or that is out for Christmas, and it was really cute. I loved it. But that quote just stuck with me because it was because that's my daily interaction. I try not to hurt people. If I can't help them, I won't hurt them. Yeah.
That's exactly it.
That's it.
And I feel like a lot of times it does help to just... you end up saying a lot of the same things to help yourself and not have to divulge a lot. But the more you also say something, I think, or tell something honest about your past, even if it's the same fact, I think you begin to explore that aspect of it more, especially if you're going to allow yourself to be able to ramble like someone's listening to you, even if you just met them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to ramble for a little bit there. There's always good things. Like, I've also realized something that I don't do as much that would help people be able to expose themselves a little bit more would be listening and not feeling bad about asking or calling back to things that you've noticed and ask them to expand upon that, especially even if it's not like necessarily like a good habit or like I've noticed you do this and this, like, yeah, what's that about?
Yeah.
And people like explaining themselves, and I like listening.
Yeah, they might be a little bit caught off guard and kind of like...
and defensive a little bit, but they also would still like to
Nobody
get to
really
that.
asks.
I think I avoid the negative a little bit, not too much, because I'm not afraid to get at least to some sort of place where it's uncomfortable. I'm not afraid of uncomfortable. I do avoid negative experiences though, and I think I should, or negative interactions, and I think I should stop doing that more, or work on that and be able to be a little bit even more confrontational.
Do you ever find yourself just like pushing someone's buttons just to see like where it takes them? Because I think I have that. I do that often, actually. Like just to see what happens when you push a button, because you know it irritates them. You can automatically see it on their face.
I guess I don't.
You don't do that?
Yeah, like if I do find the buttons very fast.
Yeah.
And then.
But you don't push them. Like that's a lot of restraint.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Don't push them.
I push them.
Because I guess it is a restraint.
That is restraint.
But it is also avoiding that because I don't want to
The
necessarily
confrontation.
find out. Also.
Wow. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I just go for it. I'm like, bam.
Let's see what happens.
And then I'm like, okay. I just sit back and
that's
I watch.
probably good because then I get a lot of. Yeah, I don't know. I end up having to work a lot through flight attendant voice from people.
What do you mean? Please explain.
Just like that kind of where you can hear their smile.
Yeah.
Ooh, even if you weren't looking to them and when they're telling you about something, you're like, yeah, no, I'm definitely listening. This is fun. I don't know, and then you avoiding the questions that you really would rather ask is a skill in itself.
True, it is.
Because you still can get to the answers.
Yep, and your mind is working on that. Like, it's that question. It's just obsessed with that question. It's like, okay, gotta get to it.
Yeah, and then I still find the words to be able to get the, or at least on track or some sort of progress on the answer that I was looking for. Or I eventually do get the answer. It's just a lot of getting through that sort of defense. I don't know. I would love to be able to do it more, to be more confrontational, because I think it would save me a lot of time, because I do waste a lot of time on people. I've wasted a lot of my time on human beings in general.
That sounds so horrible, but I know what you mean. Like, just
geniuses really don't have a lot of friends. Not have a lot of friends.
I think it's just because you're on the spectrum.
Yeah.
You just because I'm pretty sure like going to WSU and hearing or dealing with a lot of people in the engineering field, you kind of start to understand that some people just don't have that. I think it's what's it called? Emotional quotient, or I don't know what that's called, right?
I don't know.
Is that?
Yeah.
It's like the inability to interact with other people or read people's faces and behaviors to kind of
that's what
assume what they're feeling. And
they
something quotient.
That's what,
I don't remember what it's called. But anyway,
there's a lot of that in even schools like McAllister.
Do you want to plug your podcast?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to be doing a podcast.
Did you put a name in
I've gone through a lot of names, and I haven't really plugged it in any sort of public medium yet. So I think I'm just gonna give me like 10 seconds, and I'll think of a name, and I'll say it, and that will be the name.
That'll be the name?
That'll be the name of the podcast.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is history in the making. So, alright, go ahead. Drum roll. That's 10 seconds.
Okay, I think I'll say it's going to be called Different Frequencies.
That's what you want?
Yeah, I don't know. Like different as in like different, like different strokes.
Yeah.
And then frequencies. I don't know, I think I want it to have the word frequencies in there, and I just made that up right now. But that is what my podcast is going to be called.
Different frequencies with
whether I like
Ndambuki.
it, whether I like it or not, that's what it's called.
That's so dope. Okay.
Different, diff, DIFFRENT.
Okay, different.
With like an apostrophe. Frequencies.
Dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
where can they follow you on Twitter, Instagram?
Disco Spider on Twitter. It's Disco Spider with a underscore and a 3 for an E. What the fuck? That's
okay,
so
wait.
random.
Just say
DISCO DISCO underscore SPID 3R. That's on Twitter. And on Instagram, I think it's something like MAA saying So
Masai Ian, basically.
Masai Ian.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like Saiyan, like a Super Saiyan in Dragon
Bring
Ball
it back
Z.
to Dragon Ball Z.
It's like a Masai Super Saiyan.
Yep.
Yeah. That's me. I don't really post much.
Yep. He's also on Visco. You can find him
good.
there.
Ian Masila. Just on WordPress. Really, if you write Ian Masila, you'll
find him.
Find me. Yeah. Or Ian Maliza Chakula. I think that's a
and it means Ian, finish your food in Swahili. So,
yeah.
All right.
That's maybe that should be the podcast.
No, that would be dope, actually.
Right? Ian Maliza Chakula.
I think I like that one better.
Yeah.
Ian Masila. Yeah.
Maliza Chakula. Because it also is like Masila.
Ian Masila.
Yeah. And we can talk a lot about food because I have a lot of food hang-ups.
Yep.
I have a lot of food hang-ups.
A lot of people do. Yeah.
And I want to fix them. I want to be able to eat better. That'll also be a good way to talk to the types of people that I want to talk to.
Yep.
Be a good conversation piece.
I think that'd be a great idea. I like that name. Yeah.
Yeah, Maliza Chakula.
Yeah.
And I'd get,
finish your food.
And slowly I'd want
Can I
to
do
teach
the
people.
voiceover of like the intro?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Finish your food.
Yeah, when I was a child, it's also an inside joke because when I was a kid, that's something that they'd always tell me to do because I never finished my food, and there'd also even be this game where they'd sing my whole name just to be able to inspire me to finish my own food. They'd have to sing Ian Masila Ndambuki, Ian Masila, and chant my name. Everyone had to be doing it for me to be able to finish my food. And they say Ndambuki ya mama, and that's all part of it. And I think that would be a cool name for a podcast.
It would be.
Yeah.
I think you should
especially
do that,
I'm in a phase where I think the food that I eat has a lot to do with the thoughts that I think.
I mean, yeah, they definitely do. That's what I'm learning currently, how diet affects your mood and your life, basically. And how I was listening to a podcast earlier
I've been
today
eating
with
a lot of good food, so like I'm in a great
just like clean, healthy, and taking
out
out sugar really changes how you think and how your body reacts to stress in your life. And I was listening to a podcast with Joe Rogan and Sharon. What was his name? Sharon something. He's
Salzberg?
He's a boxer.
Dude, okay.
Yeah, he's a boxer. Let me look up his name real quick. I don't want to get it wrong. But he was talking about how he changed his whole entire diet. He doesn't eat sugar. He doesn't eat shellfish. Like, nothing. His name is Shannon Briggs.
Shannon Briggs.
Yeah, he's a professional boxer, and he always says, let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ.
Isn't that nice? Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ.
I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he changed his entire, just how he feels just by cutting out sugar and all of that nasty stuff. But it does make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, what do you usually do at the end of your podcast? Do you have any like book recommendations for me?
Oh yeah, what are you currently reading?
What am I currently reading? I'm reading a book called I'm reading a few different books. Yeah, but let me see. There's one called Black Hawk Speaks. Or
Black Hawk Speaks?
Black. It's by James. Damn. That's not the one I'm gonna. How about Definitely on the Road by Jack Kerouac? Or
Definitely on the Road. By
Jack?
Jack?
Well, not Definitely on the Road, but it's just called On the Road.
Yeah.
By Jack Kerouac.
Jack Kerouac. Okay.
Or, if not On the Road, a book that's similar by the same author is called Dharma Buns.
Dharma Buns.
Yeah.
Like the place, Dharma. Okay.
Yeah.
Dharma Buns. By who?
Jack Kerouac.
Same? Okay.
Yeah. He just, it's just about his travels. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
All
It's
right.
like fictional.
What song can you currently not stop listening to?
Redbone.
Redbone, Childish.
Wow.
It's Childish Gambino.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, Redbone feels like a dreamscape. You can see it. It's 3D. Yeah. Or currently I can't stop listening to.
Yeah.
Dude named Daniel Caesar.
Daniel Caesar.
There's
Haven't
a
heard
song
of him.
called Japanese Denim.
Japanese. That sounds good. Yeah.
It's
All right.
good.
So Redbone, Childish Gambino, and Japanese Denim. All right.
Yeah, have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Have a good experience through things. You know, it's not hard to be able to change how you see the situation that you're currently in.
That is true.
And once you establish how to make yourself feel good without having to necessarily have something material or distract yourself, it is a sort of distraction, but it's fun. It's fun to be able to just have a good time. You know, you don't have to just have a time. You can have a good time doing anything that you want to.
Yeah.
Good lesson.
Yeah. Just make a decision.
Hit up your friends.
Oh, that definitely. That's one thing I've learned being like so far away from home. You just have to make a conscious effort to hang out with your friends and meet people.
Yeah, even if it feels
weird or awkward. Push through the awkwardness.
Yeah.
It gets better.
Yeah, like I'm friends with this person. I don't even know how to hang out. Or ask them. I don't know. And it can be hard, but it can also be the best, easiest thing to help you feel better.
And there's those people who you're friends all of your life, but you don't really need to talk. Like you just need to be in the same room with each other, and that's enough. So just push through the awkwardness. It's fine.
Don't isolate yourself. Yeah.
Don't. Yeah.
It's not necessarily too productive if that's why you're isolating yourself. I think that's why I isolate myself. I could keep going for hours, so.
And trust your instinct. Instinct. Yeah, that. All right. That is it for today, guys.
What's up?
Yep.
Catch you on the streets. Hit me up. You know, if you want to talk, I'm here for you.
Yep. And if you have any questions for Ian, you could always send them through me, and then we'll meet up and discuss and
we'll
do another episode.
We'll definitely do another episode.
And look out for his podcast.
Talk about more specific things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Get into it.
All right.
Yeah, later. Keep it crispy.
You can't say that. That's his.
Yeah, I know.
You can't say that. You can say keep it classy.
Keep it classy.
Yeah. Alright, that's all I have for you this week. Make sure you tune in next week where I'll cover a topic that has to do with adulting. I'll probably just give you a step-by-step guide or a couple of tips, or even talk to another guest and maybe get a different perspective on what's been going on in the world currently. Alright. So, like usual, don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so that the episodes download for you automatically every Friday. If you want to get in contact with me, please follow me on Instagram and Twitter as LSHOMPOLE, and then you can also go to my website, which is elshampole.com, where there is a contact page for you to send me an email directly. So, I hope you guys are all well, and till next time.